Welcome back to the channel. It's your boy Retro Doc 79. In today's installment, we're going to tackle Shadowgate for the Nintendo Entertainment System. Now, this is a point-and-click adventure. I played this as a kid, and I wasn't too good at it. I got pretty far when I got into my early teens, and then stopped playing it, and finally finished it as an adult. Now, I'll be making two videos. This one we're going to go straight through it, and it'll be a guide. And then the second video will show you all the ways you can die in this. If you follow this video, you'll be just fine. This game is very complicated, but it's fun. Also, I'm going to let the text go on the screen and I'll read it to you guys. The last thing that you remember is standing before the wizard Lakmir as he waves his hands. Now you find yourself staring at the entryway, which lies at the edge of a forest. The druid's words ring in your ears. Within the castle Shadowgate lies your quest. The dreaded Warlock Lord will use his black magic to raise the Behemoth from the dark depths. The combination of his evil arts and his great Titan's power will surely destroy us all. You are the last of the line of kings, the seed of prophecy that was foretold eons ago. Only you can stop the evil from darkening our world forever. Fare thee well. Gritting your teeth, you swear by your god's name that you will destroy the Warlock Lord. So, a few things you want to be aware of here. If that torch goes out, you die, so you have to get torches and light them. And also, you want to open the skull before you proceed. As if by magic the skull rises. Or you'll be stuck in the next room if you don't take this. Now, also, if you noticed, I canceled the action by pushing the B button. That's going to be a time saver for you. The door leading into the castle Shadowgate. So we've opened the door in. That pitiful wizard Lakmir was a fool to send a buffoon like you to stop me. You will surely regret it, for the only thing here for you is a horrible death. The sounds of maniacal laughter echo in your ears. So remember, we need torches to continue the adventure, because if your torches go out, you end up stumbling and dying. I recommend only keeping one torch lit at a time. And we're not going to be able to get in this little locker to the right. We're going to have to push through this door. Oh, that's right. We have to use the key. As I mentioned, we got the key. And the door's open. The stone walls seem uncomfortably close as you walk down the stairs. So here what you want to do is open this book, but do not move it. If you move it, it's a trap and you'll fall to your death. A rectangular hole has been cut out of the inside of the book. And here we're going to take our second key. And let's close that book. And we're going to take the torches. And you'll notice this torch is going to be independent of the other torches. That's crucial. There's also a secret passage here that will open later on. Let's just move to the right. The stones in these walls were probably cut by the hands of enslaved mountain dwarves. The shark swims by as if patrolling this calm pool. We just want to go to the back room. Water cascades over the subterranean cliff into a cool, clean stream. And here we want to take a few items. We want to take a few rocks. And you'll see why. We're going to head back to that room where we heard the maniacal laughter. And we're going to get ourselves a slingshot. But for now, you want to go to the back of this waterfall. The walls in this room are much too close for comfort. The damp walls of this eerie cavern are rough and irregular. And here you actually want to hit the stone. Hit the rock as hard as you can. Pow! The loose rock falls down as if hung to the wall. So now we want to open the bag. And the bag contains 3 large jewels. And these are crucial to advancing in the game. So let's just take them all. And we're going to back out of this room. We don't need to close that bag. We're not coming back here. You stand in a dark underground cavern. The subterranean cavern has been carved by centuries of supernatural erosion. Stones in these walls were probably cut by the by hands of enslaved mountain dwarves. So we're going to go all the way back now. You stand in a long corridor. A huge stone archway lines the entire hall. So huge stone archways line the entire hall, not a. And here we want to use, let's see, key 2. And the broom closet actually contains useful items. Oh, as you enter, you can see a sword and a sling. And let's take that sling and sword. And the game is real particular about your pointing and clicking, so be careful. And let's back out of here. And now what we want to do is go forward. The long, cold hallway is lined on either side by half a dozen coffins. So here, do not open the middle left coffin. That's going to produce some sludge that'll kill you. And these 2 coffins have a mummy that stands silently by. And that bag, I believe, contains copper coins. I don't think we use those much, but I'm going to take 2 just in case. The mummy bursts into flames, leaving behind a scepter amongst the ashes. So we take the scepter. And I'll take 2 coins. And we'll close the bag for good measure. If you open this door on the left, a banshee will come out and make it hard for you to hear. We're not going to do that. I'll do that in the walkthrough where I show all the deaths, just because I'm not sure if it's going to affect anything in the game. This room is full of mirrors. Reminds you of the Elven Funhouse at King Otto's Fair. Here we can't do much except take the broom, because it could be the answer to a riddle that's going to be asked later. And take your torches. And while we have these torches in hand, we might as well use one because we're getting low on torch energy. And do not go down that little hole in the floor. You're going to fall to your death. We just want to back out of this as much as we can and head over to the left. You enter a cold room. The stench of flesh and the decay pervades the small chamber. You begin to shiver. This room is really cold. So here we want to use the sphere. Actually, no, here we get the sphere. We want to use the white gem. It fits perfectly. A small crystal sphere magically appears on the stand. And we're going to take that. And we're also going to take these torches. Fear grips you as you enter this small room. And I want you to take a look at the back of this room. As you can see, there are 2 yellow eyes in the darkness. They seem to be watching every move you make. So here, what you want to do is take the shield first or you'll die. The shield is in hand. You raise the shield just in time to block the dragon's flame. And let's take the hammer. Again, flame swoops forth. You use the shield for protection. It's getting hot. You don't know how much longer you can stand it. So pay attention to those cues. You can only take 3 or 4 items, because the 4th or 5th time the shield will melt and you'll die. I like to be cautious, so I'm going to back out of the room now and come back in. And this cold room is going to reset the shield's health. The room stinks of rotten meat. This room is terribly hot, and we want to take the helmet, the spear, not to be confused with the spear, and a skull, because it could be the answer to a riddle. We'll meet a sphinx later in this game. And let's just examine this melted stuff here. This pile of gold is worth a king's ransom. The pieces have been melted together. The room stinks of rotten meat, of course, so we're going to keep backing out. And we actually want to go back to where we had the shark patrolling. And here, let's use the sphere. And watch this. You drop the sphere into the lake and notice the ripples disappear as the water turns to ice. And now we can take this ever-important key here. And before you leave, you want to use that torch. Not on the sphere, but next to it. If you use it on the sphere, it'll put out the torch and you'll die. You put the burning torch close to it. The torch melts away the ice over the sphere, allowing it to float to the surface. Not surprisingly, the lake quickly refreezes. And let's take this item. And here what we have to do is actually go back to the room with the secret passage I talked about earlier. And you want to push on this wall here, this little off-colored white thing. The stone falls away, revealing a secret passage. As soon as you enter the room, you see an arrow in the front wall. And you need to take that arrow. Also, you want to use the torch on the left. You can't take these torches. It's a hidden doorway. There's a spiral staircase leading down. Do not attempt to climb up here. You'll see this little black gap I'm pointing to. This will fall away and you'll die. You stand at the edge of a dark chasm. From the darkness below arises the screams of the undead. The cave is hewed roughly in the chasm wall. So let's inspect a few things here, just so you can get the gist of the breadth of what this room is. This bridge on the left. This shabby bridge is held together with nothing but frayed ropes and rotten planks. The ropes are indeed in bad condition. So you don't want to walk on that. You're going to need a potion that's going to help you levitate so you can get across that. Judging by the intricate workmanship, this bridge seems to be quite sturdy. And that's where we want to go, through the good bridge. What's this? A wraith is standing in your way, barring your path. So here you actually want to use the torch you have lit on this special torch that's independent. The torch burns with a strange white flame. With a shout, you throw the flaming torch at it. With a blinding flash, the white flame engulfs the undead apparition. When you open your eyes again, the wraith is gone. And here, let's take the cloak. And you actually want to put this on. If you don't use this cloak, there's a room that gets really hot that you won't be able to enter. It'll be too unbearable. And again, yes, you feel hotter with more layers on, but it protects your skin. And also you're wearing armor. You don't want it to heat up as quickly. You try the cloak on and find it very unbecoming. It barely fits over your armor. And here we're going to take our torches. And while we're here, we're going to go through this door. The small stone chamber is lined on one side by two barred portals. And here we actually get potion number 2. And you want to look, you want to open this scroll. It's gonna, actually, let's take the torch and then use a torch. And here we want to look at the scroll. Or open it, actually. And this is important. This is clues to what to do to make your final weapon to defeat the final boss and get to him. Your hands begin to sweat because of your extreme excitement. 5 to find, 3 or 1. That's the weapon you're going to combine. 1 gives Axis the bladed sun. The silver orb to banish below. The staff of ages to vanquish the foe. Join 2 the golden blade, the last to invoke the platinum horn. Before we do anything else, let's look at this sign. The sign reads Epor, and if you look at that, that's actually wrote backwards. Let's read it again. And now you understand, you got it. It seems to be some sort of magic word. You've learned a magic spell. Now let's go speak that spell. The spell was chanted. There are many strange things in this world. When you said the magic spell, the rope moved. Having stretched up the hole, the rope stops moving. Let me try something here. See if I can get rid of this first key. Can I drop it in here? So I can't drop it, and that's fine. Let's take the scroll, just in case we have to read what to do later on. And I want you to push on this back wall before we go up this rope. And you feel the ground shake, and it slides away, revealing a secret passage. The cold water from the limestone drips on your neck, sending shivers down your spine. And here we want to use the blue gem we got in that bag. Well, it just passed it up. There we go. As soon as you place the blue gem in the hole, you hear the sound of grinding stone. I apologize, the font is funky, and I'm in my 40s. The wall slowly raises to reveal a magical image of an old wizard. Listen, warrior, the Warlock Lord can only be defeated by thy courage and the Staff of Ages. Remember, 5 to find, 3 for the staff, 1 to be the key, and 1 to be thy path. Now that's alluding to what we read in the scroll earlier. Have thy wits about thee, warrior, fare thee well. The wall slides back into place, hiding the image from your sight. A scroll appears. And let's actually open the scroll and see what it says. The scroll reads, as the shadow of the wind thou shalt be. Umana. I might be pronouncing it wrong, but we take our liberties with this. Now that spell is crucial. That actually makes you like a rogue, invisible to people. So we're going to go back now. And let's climb this rope. This room is full of mirrors, and again, it reminds you of the Elven Funhouse at King Otto's fair, I believe. Here you want to use the hammer. And you actually want to use it in the middle only. The other 2 portals, the one on the right will break open, and you'll be sucked into space through a magic portal and killed. And the one on the left, the shards hit you and kill you. So let's use the hammer. Bellowing like some Norse god, you smash the hammer into the mirror. You shatter the mirror, revealing a door, an iron door. So let's use key 3. And the door unlocks. And let's take a step back just so you can see where you are for reference. You see, you're back in this room here with the coffins, so you want to give you a reference of where you are in the castle. This room, yeah, so it's the same verbiage, it doesn't change. This room is incredibly hot. This must be what the lower levels of Gehenna are like. Now, if you weren't wearing the cloak, you would have been pushed back. You would have been pushed back out of the room because of the heat. The doors open. Suddenly you feel a gust of wind. A searing blast of heat knocks you across the room. And let's inspect this guy. A flaming horror appears at the end of the bridge. So here you want to use the sphere. So let's go find the sphere. And here's the sphere. You're going to just drop it into the lake. the lake of fire. You hurl the sphere into the fire below you. The hell-spawn flames quickly vanish as soon as the sphere touches them. With nothing to feed itself on, the fire drake immediately follows suit. A sharp, cold wind moves up the ledge of the deep, dark chasm. When you try to move forward, you get this fella right here. As you step on the bridge, a troll appears and says, "This bridge is mine. It'll cost you a gold coin to cross. Don't give him the copper coins, he'll get upset. You can actually use the sphere, but only once. You'll see we'll encounter this foe again. But we do have a spell that's going to come in handy, and you'll see it later." The troll falls silently into the dark cavern. You listen, but you do not hear him crash. And that's important. Remember that. The moon cast a brilliant shadow over the grounds of the courtyard. And here we have to use our trusty slingshot, so we want to place a rock in that. So we'll take a stone. And now let's use the sling on this big burly fellow. As soon as you start twirling the sling, a magical influence takes over your body. You cry out, "Death to the Philistine," and release the stone. Bullseye. You hit your mark. Now do not leave this room with this guy on the ground. Examine him. You can almost see the stars revolving around the Cyclops' head. He is down but not out. So you need to now use the sword. If you don't use the sword, you're going to have to keep trying to knock him out. But I believe he gets wise to your game and avoids the rock next time. And we want to plunge this into him. You drive the sword deep into the Cyclops. Blood pours out of the wound and onto the grass. So now what we're going to do is use this crank. The crank turns and ratchets easily. At the end of the rope there is a small bucket. And as we open this bucket, we find a gauntlet that we need to get a flute. And you'll see this flute is going to be on a fountain of water. And if you're not wearing the gauntlet, it'll actually melt your hands. So what we want to do is quickly go use that gauntlet on ourselves so we don't forget to equip it. You place the gauntlet on your hand. It feels like it was made just for you. It's a long, drafty hallway with one flight of stairs and several open passages. And let's just go to the left first. You stand in a small library. And let's look at a few items. This fine map of the lands is quite detailed, although incomplete. So this is the Taurus clans. Let's take that map. And I'm going to show you something. If we open this book, you can't read the strange writing in the book. But if we open this drawer, we're going to take these glasses and use them on ourselves. We have to take them first, unfortunately. And here what we want to do is close that drawer. And quickly use a torch, as you can see. And let's go put those glasses on real quick. And now let's look at the book that we opened. Wow, with these glasses you can understand and read what you could not before. The light grows faint, the path winds around. Where life is lost, wisdom is found. And that's profound for this game. When you die, you start understanding what you need to do and not do. The seed of the dream, for the evil is free. Where the sword is hung, he must place the key. And that's crucial. You're going to see an area near the end where you have to place something that'll let you go forward. You want to place it where the sword is. And that's alluding to that. A bridge to form, amidst the burning death, a demon to guard. I'm sorry. Ah, this is another spell. Morta resist, or whatever it says. You've learned a spell. As the spell was chanted, the book quickly vanished. And here, while we're here, let's actually open the scrolls and see what we learn here. Your hands begins to sweat because of your extreme excitement. Lands under the heavens, the key to the world. Taraka. Land to the heavens, the key onto the world. That's important. And the scroll vanished. And let's see what scroll 4 teaches us. Oh, and we missed it. It's okay. But this is a spell that illuminates things. You've learned one of the magic spells. So now what you want to do is go use that red gem we got. The last of our 3 gems. The bookcase slowly slides away, revealing a hidden passageway. And let's open some of these books. We don't have to. Let's read some of them. Let's get some of the lure going. This book's title is Gods. You open the book and read it. And when these days appear, the people will call upon their gods, and there will be no answer. Nay, only he who carries the sword shall truly be given the scales to judge them by. And that's pretty ominous. You're going to call upon your gods and pray, and there's no answer. Anarchy in the streets, armed men and women are the ones that are going to run this. This book is titled The Circle of 12. You open the book and read it. The Circle of 12 was formed before most things began. Their names are... I'm just going to leave them up on the screen so you can see the names. Lakmir is one of them, actually. That's the wizard that sent us here. The circle was broken when Talamir took a new name, the Warlock Lord. So let's open a couple more books just to get some of the lure, and you guys can skip past this. The book's title is The History of the War. You open the book and read it. And when the Warlock Lord had finally gained power, he went up against the great kings. The evil one would have succeeded if it were not for the Circle of 12. If he ever returns to power, Tarask will not live to see the rise of the sun. Oh, okay, so this book is titled Wastelands. You open the book and read it, and it's just going to give you the what borders here. So areas not mentioned in this book are still not known neither by man nor elf. It just talks about what borders the castle and the lands. Let's see what we have in this one. This book is titled The Castle Shadow... Oh, this would be interesting. The Castle Shadowgate. Normally I don't read these books because you don't have to. You open the book and read it. The Castle Shadowgate is not the largest castle in Tarask, but it is the most powerful. The castle is surrounded by an impregnable mountain known as Gatekeeper. Only members of the last Circle of 12 can enter. The Lost Circle of 12 can enter. The font is funky. It is said that the walls of the Shadowgate themselves are quite alive. I believe that. The book is titled Blue Dragon. You open and read it. And then there shall come a day when things will be lost and people won't know where. And brothers will run away for absolutely no reason, and no reason at all, and things will happen in the sky. And the people will marvel at friends who have now new names, and birds will be different. It's weird. Interesting. The words are like none you've ever seen before. Okay, so that's the end of our little experiment there. This room is dominated by a large fireplace set in the red brick. So here, there's some items that we want to take. Right away, we want to take the bellows. take this poker and this chalice. And I don't remember if we find anything here. I think we don't. You can actually burn away some carpets and find things there. Rug quickly catches fire. And there was nothing, so let's actually go use one of our spells here. And as you recall, this is the key to the world. The spell was chanted. A large crack appears around the equator of the globe. So let's open the globe and see what we have. And we're going to take key 6 and bottle 5. And as we close the globe, we'll look out over the horizon. Through this portal, you can see the moon hovering over the Draken Mountains. And I think you can actually light the fireplace on fire. Let's just see if we can. It doesn't do anything, but let's see if we can. You touch the firewood, the fire starts burning, adding warmth to the room. Now in the PC version, you actually, if your torch goes out and the room has a fire, you don't die. So maybe that was a leftover from wanting to help you in the PC version. So we already know what the description is. Let's take our torch. And let's head to the left, the second door. It smells like a kennel in here, and there are no windows through which to circulate fresh air. So here what we want to do is actually use this little funky looking thing here, because if you look at it, it says it won't open, but if you look at the rest of the floor, oh actually look, let's look at the floor. Lab animals can be chained to this stone while performing experiments on them. Oh man, that's actually horrible. Let's use it. Let's not open it. Let's use it. The stone rises slowly out of the floor. A shining vial is inside. And you need this, actually. So we're going to take this vial of holy water. The water is in hand. And if you look at it, you'll know it's holy water. The glass vial is filled with clear liquid. The sign of the cross is on it. And here, let's take a couple items from the shelf. I think this is another bottle 2. Bottle 2 is in hand. And I think bottle 2 is the only one we have to use. And I think this is another bottle 2. But we're going to take them anyway. Don't open this little kennel here or a dog will come and kill you. Take the horseshoe because it could be an answer to a riddle again. Stand in a small garden. The only sound is of falling water in the night. So here what we want to do is, remember you have to have the gauntlet in your already equipped, which we do, is take the flute. By using the silver gauntlet, you remove the flute easily. The sound of the water splashes, the sound of the water splashing is music to your ears. And of course we're going to use the flute. The sound of the flute is very pretty indeed. It seems like you wake from a dream only to find a hole in the tree. Is it real? The flute's music is like magic. And you need to take this talisman thing here. Oh, it's a ring. You take the ring in hand. And let's back out. You're in a small, stuffy laboratory. And let's head through the door in front. Here you might have noticed that the carpet gave you a clue when you went in. There was a semicircle. You need to burn that carpet. You're awed by the majestic beauty of this immense banquet hall. And let's go right ahead and use a torch quickly. Before it burns out, of course. And let's burn the carpet. And we want to take that key. The key is in hand. Crest is in hand. The mirror. And only again because we don't want to be stuck if we need to answer a Sphinx riddle. Let's use key 4, and I forget what door this is for, but let's go. Okay, so that's not the key we want to use. Let's see what happens with key 5. Or key 6. I think it's for the upper left, but let's see. Okay, so the key worked. Let's open all these doors real quick if we have the keys. Although the evening air is cool, the small circular room radiates fervent heat. So what happens if we try to take this horn? This is the platinum horn. A large fireball suddenly appears in the room and causes you to shield your eyes. When you open them, you notice that the fire has changed into something far more menacing. So here we want to use the holy water. This is actually a hellhound. Let me look. And this should be it. Perfect. And you got to be careful. If you use the wrong item, you'll get killed. The holy water has sent the hellhound back to the place where it was spawned. The flames died out. The room is quiet, as though nothing had happened. And we're going to take our silver horn. And let's take these this ladder up. As you stand on the turret, an eerie blue dragon appears in the clear, starry sky. So I don't believe we have what it takes to take them out yet. We have to go to the observatory. So let's just back out of this room. It appears to be a sphinx. It looks at you indifferently. And when we try to move is when we have to answer our riddles. As you move, the sphinx spoke. Who are you? No one may pass without my permission. To pass, you must answer a riddle. Oh man, I am fire's friend. Oh man, my body swells with wind. With my noise I bellow, how the embers glow. Dost thou know? Bring me the answer to my riddle, and I shall let you pass. For a second I thought we didn't know what it was, but it's the bellows that we picked up from the fireplace. So let's just find the bellows. Here we go. You have correctly answered my riddle, warrior. Thou may now pass. And every time you try to get past them, you have to answer the riddle. Not to retrograde out of the room, but if you miss something here, you have to do the riddle again, and it'll be something different. And if you answer wrong, he teleports you to another part of the castle. The telescope is beside the window. A star map is on the wall. This must be an observatory. So here you want to take this star up here, and we want to look to see what this map is. Open it. Scroll 5 is open. You read the scroll. Observing the stars, the Thorn constellation appears once every 5 summers. Legend says that it is a portal to another land. And let's look through this telescope to see what's out there. As you peer through the telescope, you are amazed by the clarity of the night sky. And let's just take the scroll. We really don't have to, but we're going to. And we're going to open this, because this is actually a secret. Star map is opened. And you need this. I believe this is a rod. And that's a lightning rod. And we gotta go up this way. You are so captivated by the woman's beauty that you momentarily forget her predicament. Yes, in the moonlight she is even more beautiful. This here is the golden blade. But this is a problem here. So, this woman is actually a beast. It's actually a werewolf. So let me see. We're looking for the arrow that we got earlier. That's what it is. I had to remember what it was. It's the arrow. Because it's going to be it's probably a silver arrow. So let's use the arrow. And you want to plunge it into the woman. Before you do that, let's look at her. Yeah. So I guess we killed him. This beautiful lady suddenly transforms into a wolf. And it would have mauled you to death if you didn't do that. And we take the blade in hand. And let's look out the window. Through this portal you can see the moon hovering over the Draken Mountains. And let's look at the dead werewolf. This looks like your typical dead werewolf. Your arrow is deeply lodged in its body. It's an observatory, yes. The Sphinx rests quietly in the room. So, I believe we don't have the key for this yet. So let's go back this way. You stand on the turret. And here what you want to actually use is... I'm going to do a couple things, because we have plenty of torches, so I'll just use a torch real quick. And you actually want to use the star. It's like a spell. So let's take the star. The star becomes a flash of light as you launch it. Crash. It strikes the wyvern and it explodes into a million pieces. And now we can take this. The talisman is in hand. And let's start combining some items here. Let's combine this with the scepter. Oh, I guess you can't right now. Well, no, it's not the scepter that we combine it with. That's what it is. What's wrong. Now that talisman is crucial for something we're going to do later in the game. I don't think this works. Oh, it does. That opens it. You've entered a small corridor. 2 arched doorways wait patiently for you. So we'll take that torch and that torch and head to the left. From this windy ledge, you can get an idea of the size and strength of the castle. And here we want to use the rod. It's a lightning rod. I wish this was there was a way to get this in alphabetical order. Let me see. There it is. And you want to place it in this hole here. Suddenly the sky seems to be on fire as a bolt of pure lightning strikes the rod. You're startled to see a skeleton hand rise from a hole that has formed at your feet. And let's take this item. Thank you, young skeleton hand. The wand is in hand. As you take the wand from the skeleton hand, it begins to descend. The hole then closes up as if it had never been. And let's go out on the balcony. Lightning lights up the countryside as you stand on a lookout point. So let's look at this. It's a pot of gold. The leprechauns must have skipped town. Canvas pouch. Looks to be quite light. Close inspection reveals some Druidic script on it. So the druids. So let's open the pouch. You don't want to touch the gold. It's going to cause the ledge to fall away and you're going to die. Bag 3 is open, and this we want to take. This big coin is going to be crucial. We're going to use that later, and the gold coins we need to get past a ferryman from Hades. And I'm not going to close the bag because we're done with this. It's a balcony. You don't say. And now we're going to go to the right. You're in a small throne room. A skeleton wearing a golden crown sits on the throne in front of you. And here you want to actually open this on the right. Oh, that's right. Actually, you have to use the scepter. And you want to place this in the queen's hand. Or king. As soon as you give the scepter to the skeleton, the seal on the pillar lowers. You can now see a ring-shaped hole. So we want to use that ring that we got from the tree. The ring fits perfectly into the throne's... fits perfectly. The throne magically raises, revealing a secret passage. This hallway is made of large granite slabs. So actually, let's take the torches. Do not go to the left. That slab will fall on you and kill you. On the opposite wall are a pair of stone beasts guarding the dark archway. So here, actually, what we want to do is, we want to use a spell. And we're going to have to go back to the beginning. I actually forgot to go across that bridge where you become lighter than air. But first, let's illumina. Suddenly the cavern is so bright that you have to shade your eyes. It takes you a few moments to regain your senses from the Nova burst. It seems the gargoyles were also affected and haven't recovered from the spell. So let's go to the right. Sulphurous fumes rise from the hot molten lava, some 30 feet below you. Swimming would not be wise. Here you actually want to use another spell. I believe it's Morta, or Mortra, or whatever. The statue lowers, and a large platform rises out of the lava. You have a way across. And let's see what's here. Oh man, stalagmites surround the room, like the cavernous jaws of the huge beast. So you have to actually shift those knobs here, and you only get 3 shots. So you want the middle one down, but the way you do it, I believe, is this one down, the one to the right, middle one down, and the one to the right back up. Any other order, there's like 27, 28 different combinations, would lead to failure. The cylinder screech. The cylinder lifts with a with a sharring sound. And what do you have? You are momentarily dazed as the darkness is lit by a blinding flash. The silver orb is revealed. So let's take that. As soon as you remove the orb, the cylinder closes. So now let's get out of here. And we'll come back to this room. We're just going to back completely out of this. Unfortunately, the castle's not that big if you know how to move around. That's the sound that you're close to death, so we definitely need to light torches quick. So definitely not the room. So this will be right at the beginning. So we'll take the secret path. There we go. And here we want to use bottle 2. Actually, before we use it, let's look. Let's look at the bottle. This small silver vial glows with a lustrous shine. You notice that the bottle is impossibly light. And that's your clue. There's other bottles that'll make blue fur grow on you. This one you want to use here. You drink the liquid and immediately begin to rise in the air. Now you can traverse this. A giant snake confronts you in the small cave. But when you really look at it, no, not open. Let's look at the snake. It's a giant snake. It doesn't move. Perhaps it's getting ready to strike. You wait for the creature to kill you, but still has yet to move. Upon closer inspection, you laugh at yourself. Foolishness. It's only a statue. So here, I believe you want to use a scepter. I believe. Let's go through here. Or the wand, actually. The snake begins to shake and shudder. It's just. Is it just your eyes, or is it shrinking? The serpent statue begins to change. It grows smaller and smaller. It dematerializes and forms anew as the staff of tremendous beauty. So we're going to take this. This is actually the staff of ages we needed. And now we can combine these items we have. Remember, 3 are 1, so we want to take the blade and combine that with the Staff of Ages. Suddenly, lightning begins to flash in the room. Then the golden spike slides smoothly into the staff and locks in place. Now we want to use the orb on this. Light cascades through the room as the staff becomes a living entity. Now let's take a look at it. Power emanates from the staff. The 3 are now and forever 1. So we're near the end right now. Let's proceed to the left. And let's take this rope up. And we're almost at the end of the game now, too. Okay, so here we're going to meet our troll friend again. A sharp, cold wind whips across the ledge of the deep, dark chasm. The troll says, "You must pay a toll, 1 gold coin. don't give him the coins. He is angry because of what you did earlier. So even if you give him a coin, he's going to ask for a second coin, and then he's going to tell you to pass. And when you try to pass, he's going to drop the bridge, and you're going to fall to your death. So here we want to use this spell that makes us like a shadow, invisible. The spell was chanted, Humana. As soon as the magic is invoked, you lose sight of yourself. You are as invisible as the wind. And the castle Shadowgate looms before us. This guy would have been back up, and we would have had to fight him if we hadn't killed him. Oh, we went the wrong way. Sorry about that. Let's go back. And I hope you guys have been with me on this adventure and enjoying it. Hit the like and subscribe. I mean, this game is pretty fun if you actually play it. If you don't use that Illumina spell right there, those gargoyles will attack you and kill you. So let's speak the spell. A bright light fills the cavern. The gargoyles seem to be repulsed and confused by it. The room seems to be made solely for the purpose of housing the well. So if you try to open this door, you're going to get nothing. But if you use this crank on the well back here, the cover of the well is open. And if you look, the cover of the well is open. It's not going to tell you anything. So you actually want to use the large coin in there. So it looks like the copper coins are useless. You want to use this big coin. As soon as you throw the coin into the well, a huge wind erupts from within. It reminds you of the small dust devils you see in the autumn months. So it reminds you of the small dust devils you see in the autumn months. And now you can go down the well. If not, before you would have actually died. The swirling wind carries you down the deep well and sets you gently into the cavern below. You stand above a beach, looking down upon a river. So here you actually want to use this gong. After the gong sounds, a specter materializes right before your eyes. The ghostly ferryman doesn't look friendly. You hear a faint voice ask for Feta. Oh man, get out of here. This dude's an essay. Let's go. You give him a gold coin. The ferryman takes the coin and gestures you to board. The specter... Oh, wait. The specter is wrapped in tattered rags. You can see the skeleton within the cloak. Just gazing at this apparition is enough to give you the creeps. So let's move with him. So let's use the ferryman. Can we take the ferry? You climb aboard the tiny raft and soon reach the opposite bank. A stone skull stands at the far end wall screaming silently. For some reason you get the feeling you are standing on sacred ground. So here we have to use that torch quickly. I just wanted to read that for you guys. But it's imperative that we use our torch now. And here we actually want to use the talisman. And remember, you want to place it under the sword, as the scroll said. The artifact known as the Bladed Sun is now secured in place. So we're going to open this wall, this door. Oh, I think we have to use the horn as well. Let's see. And remember, that other book alluded to the one with the sword being the only one that can, that would be ruling in the days of the Warlock Lord. The sound of the horn echoes loudly in your ears. Suddenly you hear the sound of grinding rock. The jaws of the skull begin to descend. Hot wind erupts from the mouth created, the illusion that the stone skull is alive. And this is a final chamber of the room. The cavern that... Wait, let's let that write it and then I'll read it. The cavern that you have entered is by far the largest your eyes have ever gazed upon. Behemoth! From the depths rises the most powerful creature that has ever existed, the Behemoth. Your stomach knots up as you stare at this new horror. The beast is indeed incredible. You wonder for a moment how you can defeat such a creature as this. And this is going to be, anything you do will cause the Warlock Lord to get the Behemoth to attack you. And I believe he shoots at you as well, so the Warlock Lord. So what you need to do is go get that scepter you put together. And let's make sure that's the Staff of Ages. Power emanates from the staff. The three are now and forever one. You don't want to use the wrong thing here. You want to take this, use it on the Behemoth. You pray as you raise the Staff of Ages that it has the power that the prophets claimed. The staff pulsates with power, and a beam of light explodes from it, striking the Behemoth. That's karma. The Warlock Lord is done. The creature screams in agony, thrashing back and forth in great pain. In his rage, he grabs the Warlock Lord and descends into the depths forever. You can hear the Warlock Lord's screams fade into silence. Suddenly, it is very quiet. A beautiful light seems to fill the cavern. The morning sun, you say to yourself. It's over. Although exhausted, you lean on the Staff of Ages and begin your long journey home. Word of your heroic quest has already reached the furthest parts of the land. You are triumphantly greeted as you enter the gates of the royal city of Stormhaven. Moments later, you are ushered into the royal palace where you are greeted by the king. I know what thou hast done, brave one. The world would be dark forever without thee. I guess it's giving you time to read it, and I'm trying to go past it because there's a little more to this. You are bestowed a kingdom to rule and the king's fair daughter's hand. As you leave the throne room, you know that although this quest is over, others await. After all, the bards will need new legends to sing and of new tales to tell. The first story ends. And this has been Retro Doc 79. That's actually the ending. There's no credits to this game. Let me know if you like it. It's an acquired taste, but I did enjoy figuring this game out as a kid. There's also The Uninvited, which is a horror version of this. And there's Deja Vu, which is a detective mystery, and that's a pretty cool one. Don't forget to like and subscribe. This is Retro Doc 79. Have a good one, everyone, and thanks for your support.